Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Orb About the Movements of the Earth, episode 12. We're coming right up to the midpoint. I don't know if we're technically going to consider this one the midpoint or next episode the midpoint, but here we are and things are getting a little bit frightening. Novak is here and he has at least a passing suspicion toward Oxy and Bedeni. The question at this point is how bad it really is. How much does he really know? What does he have that implicates us directly? Is it just, as I might hope, a passing suspicion, a curiosity about these two men who are interacting with Yolenta, a sort of knowledge that they're in spaces that might lead them into darker places? Or does he have something concrete and direct? My best guess is that Grabowski reported the book that he found that Piast dropped outside of his manor, outside of his library. Then the question arises once more. What does that say? Does it just say, at the end of my days, I have finally discovered some piece of the truth, and bye, I'm out of here, Count Piast? Or does it say, a blonde dude named Bedeni showed up with a brown-haired guy named Oxy, and they fucked around for a little bit and came up with an idea called heliocentrism, and it's heresy, and that's all written out in the book. It's gotta be something in that spectrum, right? If it's just a passing suspicion, maybe we're able to allay that suspicion, interact with Novak in an effective way, convince him that we're no threat, and continue the cat and mouse game for a little bit longer. But if he has something concrete, then he's going to toy with us like a cat with a mouse, and we're going to end up in a trap, and then we're going to end up at the stake being burned or whatever else he wants to do. So, our character's future and the future of heliocentrism with it are currently balanced upon the edge of Novak's blade. And that's what I'm going to draw right now. Okay. Neat. Fucked up. Freaky. Kind of like, I don't know, like puppets on a stage or something like that. The idea is the walking scene in the ED where they're all walking down this straight path, but instead they're all balanced on Novak's blade's edge, and he's sort of in control of the whole situation. It reminds me of Drosselmeyer from Princess Tutu, sort of appearing in the background in places and like watching over things. And now that I put it together, there is something of a vibe there where Novak almost feels supernatural, almost feels like a force of nature that comes and brings our characters into danger. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put this up. Funk. And we'll get into it. All right, here we go for episode 12 of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. The title for this one is Heliocentrism is My Faith. And I don't know when that's going to be said. My suspicion is that it will be said from either Oxy or Bedeni to Novak in response to his questioning as a way of demonstrating defiance, perhaps? I'm not sure. In any case, I've got episode 12 up and ready to go. It starts off with a pure white screen, which is why I'm so blindingly blasted right now. It starts off with a pure white screen. It's up and ready to go. There'll be two versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, and a beep-beep timer to count you down. Let's go! Oxy already knows! Okay, I think Bedeni will play this really well. But... Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So he was writing in, like, a Caesar cipher or something? PS was writing in a Caesar cipher, and it's just gone. Fuck. Okay, so it's just broad suspicion, probably. Oh, Grabowski made an anonymous tip. Mm-hmm. Do you have something fake prepped? I don't think we have anything fake. Don't say anything, Oxy. Yeah, let Bedeni answer. We're going tonight. You can't lead him to the barn. Oh my god, he's gonna lead him to the barn. Hey. Hey, Bedeni, are you fucking sure? Oh my god. A mess. The necklace is there. The necklace is there, dude. Oh, okay. Okay, that's close, but not there. How is everything hidden? How is it possibly hidden? How is it possible that Bedeni hid everything? Where's the necklace? Fuck! 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 We're so dead. How are the books legit? How are the books legit? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The necklace is there. It doesn't matter. That links Oxy to that guy, right? He can put everything together. Can't he? Like, he'd have to be dumb. And Novak's not fucking dumb. I don't think there's hope. I don't think there's hope. I think Oxy's dead. Shit. Fuck. Fuck. If that's true, what are we gonna do? Transition to another group? I'm already, like, grieving in my heart. I gotta believe that they can come out of this somehow. But I'm already grieving in my heart. Oxy's fucking dead. That's a direct link, isn't it? I know he was masked when it happened, but, like... Fuck. He's gonna play it off, too. Oh, he's not gonna play it off. Oh, though. He's playing it off. That's even worse. Did he realize he was in danger? If he didn't leave and come back with more force? Don't fucking talk! It's already too late, isn't it? You gotta leave tonight or not at all. Yeah, why would he notice that? It's a fucking core piece of the thing. You're telling me I had evidence just sitting on my desk? Oh, fuck. Come on, Bedeni's gotta realize that we're dead. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go. Right now. Okay, that's the move. But Danny! I punched my mic. But Danny, that's good shit. Yeah, let's go. He's right outside. Fuck, I'm so scared. Okay, he's not just chilling right outside waiting for you. Okay, we've got the tunnel. Fully burned. Yeah, this is goodbye. I wouldn't expect Bedeni to be sappy about it. Yeah, good line. Yeah. What about Bedeni's book? I mean, Oxy's book. Right. What's he thinking, though? Is he worried that it'll be lost with Bedeni? Hmm. Hmm. More minds. But he's right. No, you have a point, and he respects you now. But he worked alone, selfishly guarding his research. Collaboration with the past and future. I don't think so. But that we have to keep our minds open. Yes. It's fundamental. He doesn't know it, but disprovability is the whole point. Bingo. Which makes it unassailable. But that's not what we're trying to do here. That such a thing is hope. That being wrong, the option of being wrong. Hmm. Hmm. Why would that satisfy? Yeah. But dialectic. Yeah, that's the wrinkle. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. But how will you get closer to perfection if you don't acknowledge imperfections? If you don't acknowledge the inability to see completely? Yes. Yes. Believe in your inability to grasp the entire absolute truth and strive for it endlessly. Oh man, I hope we get the chance. Okay. Peace said, disagreed with, and interestingly, in that disagreement, Oxy's point is proven, isn't it? Like the conflict between them creates more. Uh-oh. He's already coming back, isn't he? He's already. The Inquisitors. His fucking eyes, man. God fucking damn it, we're already screwed. You gotta run! Get in the tunnel! Go! Go! Not long enough to burn all the shit! Yeah! Light the whole thing on fire? Get in the tunnel? It's too late. There's a fire, too. Fuck, man! Wait, are these the Inquisitor homies? Because his daughter is involved. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They interacted with his daughter. Tell us what the plan was, Badani! Oxy can deal with it. So let Oxy do it. He can read and write now. Keep it moving! Let me write the letter. Yeah, but just say it. He's gonna try to buy him time. He's gonna try to buy him time. Do you have a sword, Oxy? Dude, there are so many of them, though. He's got his sword. Okay, he's gonna try to buy them time. You go on ahead him. Yeah. Fucking courageous. Yeah, you know what's coming, man. Better to be cut down in the field than tortured. Heliocentrism is my faith. He's found something bigger to live for. Wow. Wow. Tato's demo. Tato's demo. Is that ink? A blessing. It is ink. He's using ink to bless him like it's holy water. Holy shit, Oxy. He's here to kill. But it's personal. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. You can't dodge 4 crossbows. Okay, I guess you can, because you're Oxy. Holy shit. He's cold-blooded. He's a real killer, man. You are not, but Novak is. I pray a lot. God will protect me. Shit. I will do my best. Yeah. Hmm. Sure. I was born ready. Reasonable in words, but in action it doesn't seem to match up, does it? Everybody does. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? One who's ready to die. And so Oxy, a true believer. Sure you are. Oh, well. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not even karmic justice. That's just fucked up. Oh, I think he is. Are we about to end the episode? Fuck. This episode is fuck the episode. Damn it. We were so close. And there's no clear path to pass things down. If we do get deaded. You know? We've had that. There's been the passing down stuff, but now we're just fucked. He's buying time. He's buying time for Bedeni. There are a bunch of things in this episode that are like ideas coming to fruition. The fulfillment or completion of core themes. That conflict between Bedeni and Oxy is great. It's great. The little arguments are interesting. Well, we've tipped off the knife's edge and fallen somewhere bad. I can't see things going well from here. But this episode itself has a bunch of conversations that feel like they're the fulfillment or the completion or the conclusion of stuff that's been brewing and building. And it comes up in the form of choices. I think Bedeni's choice to see the situation, see where they're at, see how much time they have and how much Bedeni actually needs, and make his choice is the fruition of all of these moments where things mattered to him. And he says it pretty clearly that he's willing to choose hell if it means saving this. That he was inspired like Grass was inspired, like the Heretic was inspired, like all these people before him have been inspired to put something above themselves, to put something above the potential of their immortal soul reaching heaven even. Something more important than that, something that actually satisfies them. But before that, he has this argument with Bedeni about isolationism and the necessity and importance of peer review almost. From our modern context, it's a little bit strange to see because we have this respect for the scientific method, a respect for like disprovability of theorems as like a critical and important part of the way that we come up with ideas is to try to disprove them actively, to try to share them with as many other people who can disprove them as well, and to not look for those confirmations, but the opposite. But here in this time between Bedeni and Oxy, that's not obvious. That's not like part of the status quo. That's not taught in every school before the age of 10. It's not a universal principle. So Oxy's putting it forth, and he's putting it forth as someone who is not himself a scholar, who has only recently learned how to read. And the surprising part is that Bedeni shows him the respect of listening to him, taking his arguments seriously, and not just sort of dismissing them as he has done before when interacting with people as like, you are uneducated and a fool, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so I'm not even going to discuss this with you. Instead, he takes Oxy really seriously. And my insight is that he's taking him seriously partly because he respects him and partly because what he's saying is true. And because it's close enough to the meat of the process, like what we are doing as researchers and scientists, that Bedeni feels like it matters and like it might actually be important enough for him to change his mind about it. Which is so funny because that weaves into what Oxy's saying in the first place, is that you have to have your mind open enough to keep the possibility of your falsehood, of your fallibility in play. And Bedeni, strangely, does that in listening to him and then continues to disagree. It's so interesting because there are like bits and pieces where the scene itself lines up with what Oxy is saying, that the conflict between them is continuing to inspire them to go in different directions and pursue different things in interesting ways. It's really interesting. And they are having this discussion that's open in the moment about being open, to which Bedeni eventually says, nah, that's dumb. It's my info. It's mine. Wow. There are some hair-raising moments in this episode. There are some butt-puckering moments, and there's some real inspiration, too. There's some real beauty here. Let's go ahead and go through it. What a cliffhanger, too. And I want to say, I'm convinced that Novak beats Oxy down in this cliffhanger for some reason, just because of the framing of things. But I'm not actually convinced. I wonder if we could get away with it. But I can't see us killing Novak or even severely injuring him. Oh god, I wonder what's gonna happen, man. I'm so curious. I don't know. A letter with a tip. A diary full of codes. So Count Piest was writing in code this whole time. That's so cool. Clearly, it's just some sort of simple cipher, because frequency analysis was enough to make it work. Y'all know about code breaking stuff? It's kind of cool. Most ciphers are pretty simple. You just take one letter and apply it to another letter. But you can get more complicated with it. And even if you get more complicated with it, you can still, through frequency analysis, determine which letters or characters are the most common. And then figuring out sort of where they fall in particular words, you can start to sort of figure that out from there. So in English, that's E. You're always looking for E because it's pretty much the most common letter in the language. And if you can figure out what's probably E, you can find words that are like 3 characters that have an E character at the end, and you can be pretty sure that one of those words is the. So if you put things together and you figure out what the T is and the H is and the E is, suddenly you can crack the whole code wide open. Especially if it's just like a simple like +2 Caesar or something like that, then the same math that's done to make every D into a B is going to make every E into a C, and so you can just apply the same math to everything else. It's just boom, decoded. So good enough to keep, you know, a barely literate person from figuring out what you've written in code, but not good enough to keep anybody who's intelligent out. And turns out Grabowski's intelligent, although Novak doesn't know who did it. Grabowski's smart. He put in the tip anonymously. You got to realize that if you're putting in a letter or a tip like that, you're going to end up under fire too, right? I think so. In its latter pages, an abnormal model. So they dispatched me. And so I have to gather breadcrumbs myself. So he just happens to think that they have something to do with this somehow. There's really there's nothing that links Piast to them directly or anything like that. He just has suspicions. Fuck, man. Would you be willing to show me your research? Simple question. Breaks open everything, absolutely destroys us, and Oxy begins to move. Oh, ho, ho, it's not like I suspect you. You're friends with my daughter after all, but I have to investigate everything. And Oxy starts, so this is one of those hair-raising, butt-puckering moments, because Oxy starts talking, and he doesn't have a good lie prepared. So you know he's just gonna fumble some bullshit and be like, oh, well, actually, it would probably be better if you didn't look at our research. Do you have a warrant? It's like, no, this is the Middle Ages. We don't have warrants. I'm going to look at what I want. But Denny has it down. Play it off. Play it off. Everything's fine. And it turns out he has hidden his research. But he didn't hide the necklace because he didn't know. He didn't know. That's the crack. That's the thing that destroys this whole thing and makes this whole house of cards tumble down. It's not even that the necklace is there. It's that Denny didn't know that the necklace mattered. He should have known, right? No, you know what? Oxy never told him. He told him about the chest that's up there, and he took him to it. He never told him about the stars, Orion's belt, the fact that it came from the heretic and stuff. And of course, even then, none of them would have known that it came. Novak has seen this thing for years. He saw it with Hubert, and he saw it with Rafal, and now he sees it. He saw it with that heretic, and now he sees it with them. Shit on a shingle, man. So this is absolutely terrifying because I was under the impression that there's no way that this shit has been hidden away. There's all these books everywhere. But Denny's got a good answer. I'm looking into the misfortunes that occur when Mars is in opposition to the sun. It's funny that astrology is considered totally kosher, but real scientific astronomy is not. This is acceptable. Everything's all clear. Except. And now, okay, so from the moment he sees it, we're at 3 minutes, 11 seconds. We cut out 1.5 minutes for the OP, right? Because this moment, we build up tension, and then we go into OP. So it's 3 minutes and 11, right? Yeah, 3:10, we'll call it. And then we're here at 4:50, and we're all the way. Okay, right here is when he breaks the tension at 5. So minus 1.5. It's like a full minute almost that we spend in this space where Oxy believes that he has seen the necklace and recognized it. Novak sees the necklace and recognizes it. And everybody's in maximum brain power calculations except Bedeni, who doesn't know that anything is weird here. Oxy goes for his knife. Novak, hand on his blade, the shadow across his face. Grabs his blade, grabs his. They're ready for this all to fall apart. So why doesn't Novak move here in this moment? He's got to know that even if he walks away for a few seconds, he's going to give them the chance to run. But that's his goal, right? He wants to make them think that he doesn't suspect them so that they stay put and he can come back with the forces that he needs to actually bring them down. I wonder if he's aware that he might be in danger here. Because it struck me as interesting that, he's in the back of this room with them at the door. So he's stuck. And then he sort of, once he says these lines, he sort of beelines to the door, right? He makes his way there very quickly. And then once he's reached the door, it feels very different. Like, the tension is gone. And part of that is because he's gone, but, like, man, I think he realized he was trapped in this room with two men who might have weapons and didn't want to take the odds. Goddamn. The, like, underlying micro calculations that go on inside Novak's head add so much to making him seem, again, almost supernaturally evil, like malevolent force that just finds its way into the cracks between things. Scary. Okay, we'd better leave. I didn't expect him to leave so easily. He didn't even notice the necklace. The what? Oh, that, you know. He's seen it before. We've all seen it. He knows. So, at this point, Badeni goes, okay, we're leaving now. We're leaving right now. Forget the apologies. Just get ready. This scene is cool. It's sad because the burning of all the materials is a terrible thing. But it's a cool scene. The lighting on Badeni is really interesting, and the way we frame him with Oxy, I think, is very effective for this argument. Take the tunnel, steal a horse, head to your destination. And you? I'll write a letter and then leave. Okay, then this is goodbye for a long time. I really like the flames here. They're simple, but I just really like them. I love the line, let's meet again as the world turns as well. It's very powerful. So Oxy, staring into the flames, sees grass, sees the interactions that they've had, the moments that have inspired him. We hone in on his eye. Are you going to burn everything? Yes. It's dangerous to leave the rest, but even if it were safe, I wouldn't leave anything. It must be my work alone. And Oxy's not sure about this. I won't hand them over to anyone. More than not sure, he's got a problem with it. Do you have a complaint? And Oxy jumps into his, like, no, people-pleasing, like, no, everything's fine. I don't actually... Then he slows down. Yes, actually, I do have a problem with this. If you keep isolating yourself, won't it be harder to notice mistakes? And won't that harm the research? Because, like, the research is what we care about above everything else, right? Unless you care about your ego more than everything else, right, Badeni? But would you like your ego to be attached to something wrong? Or would you sacrifice a little bit of your ego in order to be right in the end? I'm just rambling. Just forget. I'm listening. Let's take Count Piest as an example. He was dissatisfied, so he tried to discover a new model. And he did. And it was very accurate, very good compared to other geocentric models. But of course, unspoken, it was still wrong, still false. So what keeps us separate from him? What makes us so convinced that we'll be right? Without firm proof, it can't be proven to be the truth. And so there isn't that much difference between us and him. But he believed he could be wrong and accepted the truth when it hit him over the head. So why can't we do the same? Are you trying to say that heliocentrism is wrong? The answer is unequivocally, like, no, I believe that it's correct. And we get to the point in this conversation where he will say that it is his faith, which is kind of amazing. But it's crucial, even if we believe 100% that it is correct. If we dismiss the possibility that we are wrong in that belief, then we are just as much a fool as everyone who has come before us. And it doesn't strengthen the idea by doing that, it weakens it. Only by addressing all of the possible disproofs, right? Like the things that might prove it wrong. Only by accepting their possibility and then showing that they're not true, can we like solidify the truth of this thing. That's not what I mean. Isn't it important to acknowledge that you might be wrong? Especially in scholarship and research. If you don't allow that, what makes it different from faith? From the scenes of older priests telling us the way the world is, and it is that way, and there's no questioning it. What's the difference? And there isn't one. He's right. He's right. Yes, faith is sacred, outside of logic and reason, unassailable, but research is not. That should be kept separate. You shouldn't shut them out. What made you think that? Long ago, I learned phrasing that such a thing is hope. I'm not sure that I got this. I'm not sure that I've got this, but I'm going to lay out what I think this means. The possibility of being wrong is hope, is what Oxy's saying here. The possibility that you don't know everything, that it's not all locked in and understood. In context being that the world that you know is this one way, set up by God so that the earth is at the bottom of the universe, might not be true, that there might be other answers, that you might not know everything means that there's hope. Hope to find out more, hope to discover, hope to learn. That's what I think he's saying here. Do you have a different interpretation? If you do, I'd love to see it in the comments. These others, my work mentor and the heretic, they encountered the stone chest, and they both found hope in passing the torch to others. In others criticizing the work, finding the flaws in it, and taking it forward and making it true, right? Getting it closer to reality. And to my surprise, that was more important than going to heaven. Overwhelmingly so. It sounds nice in theory, but you can't know that the next person will carry on. And indeed, you don't know. You might hit Badeni. But worse than that, they might reject your plans in the end. Throw away the whole thing. So entrusting things to others is scary, not hopeful. Maybe. But in fact, maybe having others refute or correct your ideas is what passing the torch really means. It's not just about declaring that this torch that I got from my parents is right. It's about adding fuel to it, changing it, refining the fire, right? Burning away the impurities almost. That's a good way to frame it. I just watched some stuff on the way that the Japanese smelt iron sand, gather sand from manipulated riverbanks to cause iron to gather in the like edges and corners of the riverbank, and then they gather up this iron sand and put it once a year in this huge furnace over a 24-hour like ritual period, dumping kilograms and kilograms of iron sand in there and hundreds of kilograms of pure charcoal, and letting it burn and burn and burn and solidify and burn away the impurities. And it's like every bit of charcoal that's added to it, you're adding more smoke, more fuel, more fire, but the lump of metal in the center is becoming more and more refined, as opposed to becoming like growing and becoming a larger mass of gunk. It's becoming more and more refined into the purest iron, the purest steel, and becoming stronger and like the best that it can be done. There's something to that that's connecting in the back of my mind to this, as though those additions, those next steps, those next torch burnings are like purifying something within the flames and burning away the impurities of it, the falsehoods, the mistakes, the misinterpretations. And through that cycle, the thing in the center is being like rarefied down into something solid and pure and true, as close as we can get to it. But then we get into the bit of the argument a little bit later that, like, if you accept that it might not be the entire truth, then aren't you giving up the pursuit of absolute truth which is our core goal? And it's like, no, you're just understanding that it's asymptotic. It's like, it's calculus. We can approach infinitesimally close to the true, but based on our fallibility as humans, we can never get there. And that leaves room for like mystery. It leaves room for the unexplained, and kind of ends up being what I think of as a pretty beautiful worldview. But this part, I wonder if having others refute or correct is what passing the torch really means. Things don't go as planned. The believer is opposed by the heretic. Heliocentrism is opposed by the geocentric. The twists brought on by those outside elements might be the very thing that gives you hope to move forward. As though the conflicts, the dialectics, are what push us forward into the search for something truer. Maybe. I think there's an aspect that's absolutely right about this, and I think that Badeni has an aspect that's absolutely right too. That a single-minded dedication to pursuing a goal is necessary as well, and that a willingness to not listen to what everybody else is saying is crucial for breaking norms and disrupting status quo. But if you do that with the arrogance of being unwilling to accept that what you're saying might be wrong, you might be wrong. But of course, it's too dangerous to tell others. I see what you're saying, but I don't agree. What you're saying is incredibly dangerous. Your stance toward research. When it comes to faith, it's the stance that is dangerous. Abandoning absolute truth, which would always be our goal. So I think this is wrong. I think it's wrong. I think my understanding is that even if absolute truth exists, and it's unclear that it does, we're fallible, and our machines and instruments are always fallible. And so we can get extremely close to it. We can approximate truth. But to believe that we could ever comprehend reality, it's a little bit fraught. It's a little bit fraught. I don't know. Scholars would swim forever in the waters of imperfection. So simply the idea that they might always be wrong, this premise of like, treat every theory like it's still a theory and hasn't been proven the way that we do in modern science, because that's what we're arguing against, right? Like Badeni is arguing against the modern scientific method. He's saying that would never work. That's silly. People would always be continuing to argue and nothing would ever be settled, right? Which, fair, you know? There is some weird room just because of the semantics of calling things theories. Like we call evolution a theory, and that leads creationists to be like, oh, creationism is just as valid, right? Totally. They're both theories, same validity, which is dumb, and I think Badeni would think is dumb. But we get so much further. We get so much further when we're willing to, when everything is on the table to be criticized, to be refined, to be taken off the shelf, or taken off of its pedestal where we say, this is the absolute truth. We take it down from there, we reanalyze it, look at it from a bunch of new perspectives, and find out that it's not quite true. That it's correct from one perspective, but there's another perspective from which it's actually, there's a different explanation for all those things that are going on. And now that we know that, we can expand that and apply that information to this field over here and this field, and we grow in every sense. It's good to keep swimming in the waters of imperfection. It keeps the refinement process going. But you, Oxy, you're asking us to accept this tragedy, the dismissal of absolute truth? Yes. Isn't that better than forever believing, wholeheartedly believing in a mistake? Because that's what PS did for a huge portion of his life, and his mentor before him, and many of the scientists and astronomers before us. Unwilling to believe that they might be wrong, they spent their entire lives believing and working on a mistake, like doubling down. Wouldn't it be better to keep that possibility in mind rather than doubling down like a fool on something that you just believe? Isn't that closer to faith? Until we meet again, thank you for all you've done. But as he turns, as he walks, his elf eyes spy something bad in the distance. The carriage is coming, and we can't even, I don't even see it back there. It's just Oxy's eyes, right? The Inquisitor's carriage. Fuck, man. The biggest goddamn fuck. 5 minutes. We get it. No! And so we're off. I'll follow. Go, do the thing. Wait, weren't you going to write a letter? Yeah, no time. So we have a little chat in here, and he expresses that he is fucking mad. And it is so... it's the best filmmaking of the show, is making Novak scary and intimidating. It's the best filmmaking of the goddamn show. Shots like this, shots like this, shots like this one, where it's just from his mouth down, just the beard and the mouth. He becomes more animalistic. We got this grin in there, but without eyes, we don't connect to him as a person. So he's just a monster. He's just a monster. I'm in a peculiar mood. To put it simply, I'm fucking angry. I'm fucking angry. So, you had a plan, you had a letter. Oxy's already locking in. But then he's just freaking out. I don't even have time to explain! How long would you need? How long would you need? Double that, 10 minutes. So without a word, Oxy goes and gets his sword. Do you intend to die? I don't know. We do the same sort of cutoff of the face here, but it feels completely different, yeah? Badass. And can I just say, this is great evidence of something a little silly. We've said it before. Orb is not the best looking show in the world. It's actually pretty ugly a lot of the time. And beyond that, it's not full of a lot of flair, a lot of like fancy stuff, a lot of creative ideas. There just isn't that much visual creative stuff going on in Orb. It's pretty straightforward, pretty almost filmic in a very straightforward way. You don't need it. You don't really need it. Just to make something land, just to make an emotional moment, a character turning to defend their friends as a self-sacrifice, to make that land, you don't need it. You just need good build-up, well-established characters, dialogue that matters and makes sense, emotional tension, and then to solidify it with one frame. That's all you need. It reminds me of the way that Ashita no Joe is sort of put together. That older style where everything's toned down, but then explodes in a particular scene, and the emotions built up land. This fits. It lands for me. Oxy turning around, declaring that he can buy time. Totally willing, totally able, as we express in the next moments, totally willing to die. Although he says he doesn't know, we do. He's got something more important to fight for. Are you fucking stupid? You'll be fighting clergymen. And Badeni puts it in no uncertain terms. This isn't just about capture or death. I don't think you understand. You will be condemning yourself to hell. Why would you condemn yourself, your whole soul, for the sake of this research? And isn't that the question the whole time? Hasn't it been the question the whole time? We've both been, according to the church, becoming heretics and condemning our souls by researching this. But if it's true, then it's worth researching. And it's worth fighting and dying for. Because it's true. And we've just had like 3 episodes in a row where we've expressed that truth is the silver sword that cuts through all the bullshit. I wanted to write a book because the meaning of heliocentrism inspired me, and that inspiration has grown day by day. Not long ago, I was desperate to leave for heaven. I had a life that wasn't worth living at all, right? But now, if it will protect that inspiration, I'm ready for hell. He's found something that satisfies him, that makes it all worth it. And now he's got this glimmer in his eye. We flash through these moments. This is a mistake. You fools. Not understanding theology, making bad choices. And he says, yes, maybe, but I won't regret it. Even so, Dato Shitemo, heliocentrism is my faith. And so he presents him a blessing. O merciful God, welcome him safely to the promised kingdom. In the name of the Lord, amen. And so the face-off begins. Useless Inquisitor boys. Absolutely fucking useless. Why do all of this for a stupid theory? Because I want to have hope for this world. It means so much more than that. It means so much more than that. It is the light itself. Couldn't we talk? No. So what does he do with the second bolt that comes in? He dodges it. He swings on one. Yeah, he's just killing. Oh, he blocks it with his scabbard. Jesus. Jesus. So we don't often get a lot of action in the show. This is pretty great. It's like good. Yeah. Is it Free Ren? Is it Jujutsu Kaisen? No. But it's pretty good. We got camera track and sword swings. We got blood splatters. We got sparks and flares and shiny stuff on the sword. We got expressions going as the fight takes place. It all matches up. Like we cut over to this guy with the bow and cut back, and it's like it makes sense. It all tracks. And there are cool moments like the rip of the fabric is like neat. Well done. Really drawn up. And Oxy just appears around the side with the eyes shining. Woo! So, shaky boys shaky, and that gives us this conversation. Oh, this is all I get, huh? Sir, I am here to fulfill my duty. I'm not really sure. Like, it's clear that he's going to be weak at heart, yeah? That we're drawing some difference between this person who's, like, ideologically aligned with killing heretics versus somebody who's actually fucking capable of it. And then the layer of someone who's genuinely willing to die. Who's able to stomach that and deal with it. I don't know. I don't know really what we're trying to do here. It's like, he's such a polar opposite of Novak to me. He's emotionally attached to the violence and like focused on these personal things, whereas Novak is so sort of vague and broad, with the exception of stuff that happens to Yolenta, and doesn't seem to really care. Doesn't seem to care about living or dying or anything very much. Just a strange contrast. No, that's good to hear, but not quite what I meant. A truly strong warrior is not one who's ready to kill, it's one who is ready to die. Crude determination is superior to superficial skill. So as soon as I read this, all I could think of was Guts and Griffith, right? Is like crude determination versus superior skill, superficial skill. And it's right on. Like it might be a coin flip when they fight. I'd probably put my money on the dude who just will not give up, who just will not die. He's gonna keep going. He's gonna keep going. Crude determination is superior to superficial skill. So I'm really asking if you're prepared to die for your murdered sibling. And he's like, yes, totally. And he runs. And almost karmically, trips, falls, and impales himself on his own blade, leaving Novak to just like, God damn it, these noobs who I've been saddled with. So, having spent the time to go and acquire this whole group of people to come back here and fight, Novak finds himself once again alone and faces down, blade in hand, against Oxy. You're not prepared to die, are you? We're about to find out. And that's our end of episode. Fuck. But Denny looking up to the sky, taking one little moment like, so real, my dude. So absolutely fucking real. Oh, man. I don't know. I expected things to get bad, but I didn't expect things to become instantly the worst that they could be as soon as possible. I hope that we open the next episode on this fight and that we don't just skip over it, that we actually get to see it. And I hope that there's hope. I hope for hope, because Novak is here to crush that hope, to destroy us, to destroy the ideas that have given inspiration to Oxy, ideas that he's now willing to fight and die for. And I don't want those ideas to be crushed. I want the torch to carry on. I want the refinement to continue. I want the process ongoing. I want Oxy to be a part of it, to be learning and growing along with Yolenta and Bedeni, and now some part of that future has been robbed from us. But there's still hope. Bedeni's not in their clutches yet. Yolenta is not under suspicion and might never be due to Novak's connection to her. There are ways. But I thought we were going to spend a long time with Oxy. I thought we were going to go the distance. Maybe we will. But I don't know. Novak is like fighting against the devil, and it feels like he always wins. So, with a little bit of hopelessness and a carefully guarded little ember of hope still burning, we'll wrap there for this week's episode of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Thanks for watching it along with me. I'd love your insights on some of those conversations that I mentioned over the course of the discussion, because I think that there's more there to unpack that I didn't really manage to figure out, so I'd love some more insight into that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for the next episode, where hopefully things turn upward, but I don't know. Much love. Peace.